Good morning. How are you all on this Saturday morning? Sarah here from the beautiful Sunshine Coast. Oh wow, I'm so fortunate today to have a beautiful lady coming on, and she is going to talk to us about her amazing transformation over the last 7.5 months with her health. Her name is Natarsha Tyson, and I met her on a work or company weekend, and I was just overwhelmed by her story. So I just wanted to get her on and for us to be able to chat to her and actually get an idea of what she's gone through during her life and the transformation that has happened over the last 7.5 months, because it's just incredible. So Natarsha is from, she's originally from Tamworth, and she has 4 kids, all teenagers, 15, 16, 19, 21, holy doolies, and 2 of each. So she's had her work cut out for her the last, definitely these teenage years, I can relate, is pretty full on. And she is currently living in Brisbane. She does like muscle management, and she's a wellbeing specialist. And she helps with like pain management after traumas and things like that, and with their emotional release. So I'm going to bring her on. So Natarsha had, she actually acquired a brain injury from a horse accident when she was 10 years old. And that's left her deaf in her left ear. And she's got major nerve damage and lots of stuff. But I'll bring her on. She can let us know about her story. Please let us know if you're watching the replay. Just hashtag replay in the comments. And let's get her on. Hi, Sam. Hi, Kaz. What a beautiful day. Hey, Natasha.
Hi,
hey, Natasha.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No, thank you so much for coming on and actually telling us your story. I've still got this echo going, so if anyone could let me know if you can hear that, hopefully you can't. Because it's quite frustrating. Anyway, that's all good. So Natasha, your story just blew my mind. If you're able to just explain, sort of what happened to you when you were 10 years old, and how your health has been over the years, and then how it's changed in the last 7.5 months.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, thank you for that beautiful introduction, Sarah. As you mentioned, I fell off a horse when I was 10, and I was so precise in what I was doing. I hit the only bit of concrete in the entire paddock and fractured my skull and crushed the cochlea and blew the eardrum completely out. So I'm completely deaf in my left ear. I was knocked unconscious, choking and everything else. Fortunately, my dad was there and was able to clear my airways and everything. But I was diagnosed with an acquired brain injury from that accident. And since then, I really struggled during my schooling and, adulthood, of course, to learn and retain new information. I always had to work extra hard, and I'd have to go over things a million times before it would actually stick. And but for me it wasn't so much an issue, because that was just how it was. It wasn't until the last 7.5 months that I noticed that it didn't have to be that way, and that it could actually be different to that for me. So but anyway, before I get on to that, so a couple of other things throughout life. I was in a car accident, I've been assaulted, and all sorts of nasty stuff and stressful stuff, being an ex-military family, and kids that have been in severe accidents and stuff like that. So there's been a lot of stress. my background, as you mentioned, Sarah, was that of a natural therapist specialising in muscle management and well-being. And I love that. And I got into that because it was stuff that helped me with my own recovery. And, I just love helping people. It was in May that a great friend of mine introduced me to the little yellow pill. And I thought, I was a little bit skeptical because over the years I have tried every supplement under the sun, and yeah, it's been okay, but nothing dramatic. And man, this stuff blew me away. After 3 days, I started to notice a change. I was diagnosed just over a year ago with obstructive sleep apnea. I had tendonitis of the elbow, inflammatory changes in my feet, heart palpitations. As you can imagine from the horse accident, I was always in constant pain with my back and other areas as well. So to notice changes that quickly just blew me away, and I got stuck in the research and found out as much as I could, and within 2 weeks I actually signed up for the business because it just blew me away that much. But some of the changes that I've noticed since then with the NRF2 is my sleep apnea has significantly reduced. I'm waking up feeling energized, refreshed. First of all, I'm sleeping soundly. I'm not tossing and turning. And I don't use the CPAP machine. I decided against that course of action just from doing my own research and not liking the sounds of some of the research. So I made the informed decision to not go down that path. And, with the changes I've had with this, I'm glad I didn't go down that path because it could have created its own set of challenges. My back pain, which was constant, is gone completely. The other interesting thing is memories that because I had that brain injury when I was 10, I didn't have any memory prior to that. I'd lost those 10 years. So, sorry, I know I'm jumping around a little bit here. When I started the NRF1, which was only about 2 months ago or 2.5 months ago when it was released in Australia, I started to get memories from my early childhood. It's like it's unlocked some blockage that had been there that was caused by the accident. Recently, I've noticed my tinnitus, which was constant, and that's due to the nerve injury. But I still get, it comes back every now and again, but most of the time it's not there. And that was a constant thing that was just buzzing inside my head the entire time. So that's been a massive change. Also, the biggest thing for me is, and I didn't realise this, and I didn't realise it was an issue until it changed, and that is the difference in my cognitive process, the way that thoughts transform to words. And I used to stumble over words all the time, and I'd be quite cautious about what I was going to say because it mightn't come out right and things like that, and I'd be second guessing myself all the time. That's not there anymore. It's like as soon as that thought, that word forms in my head, straight away it's out. And that's just been dramatic for me, and it's really changed my life. And I'm just so excited. I'm not procrastinating anymore. I'm excited and enthusiastic about life and really digging in, and it's really, really changed my life. And I'm just so happy and so grateful that these products were presented to me and I could take them up and try them.
Yeah, absolutely. absolutely. I can't believe that. That is so amazing, isn't it? How in that short period of time you've had all these changes. And so over the years, were you on medications and things? Like, because you would have been trying all sorts of different therapies to try and, you know, get yourself well.
Oh, absolutely. I remember being younger, my mum taking me to all sorts of different therapies and, you know, occupational therapists and chiros, physios, everything to try and get my coordination going, because that was really out of whack, and I'm still a lot weaker on the left side, and I don't have perfect coordination. But then again, who does have perfect coordination? I don't know if everyone does or not, but you know, it's that's certainly improved. And yeah, I remember, you know, just going to heaps of different therapies. So I didn't have medication for it because I think it was, especially back in those days, that was like 38 years ago. And, you know, it was just the therapies and treatment options that were available back then were certainly very different to what they are now. But, you know, I'm absolutely blown away by the changes in my health and well-being and my outlook and my, you know, just emotional well-being. You know, there's stuff that's improved that I wasn't even anticipating. You know, I didn't even think it would fall under the category of NRF2 activation or NRF1 activation. You know, it's just really, really changed my life. And as far as blowing things out of the ballpark, this has blown it off the planet. You know, I can't express enough how amazed I am. And it's, you know, it's just great stuff.
Sorry, I was just trying to adjust my screen. This echo still has to be Natasha, so I probably will try and talk as less as possible. Sorry about this interference.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, look, I bet your family notices the difference as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't live in close proximity to my extended family, but I did go and see my mum in September, and she knows the difference straight away. And just she's actually studied the products herself, which is great, based on the difference she could see in me. And that's where a lot of my customers have come on board, purely because they've known me for a long time and they've seen the changes in me as well. And the skincare range, oh my gosh, we've got the only NRF2 skincare range in the world. And I've actually had people who have known me for some time go, have you been to Thailand and had plastic surgery? It's like, no. It's like, I look back at photos that before I started it, and it's like, who is that old lady? I don't know. It's just, you know, I just can't believe how fantastic these products are.
It's so good to see you smiling.
And you know what? It's great to be smiling and laughing. It's something that has definitely increased as well. And I think just as all the stress is dissipated in my body, you know, I'm finding more moments of joy in every day and laughing more. And that in itself is a bonus. That's worth it, you know.
Absolutely. That's living. You know, now you're actually enjoying life. You're not just functioning every day.
Yeah, not just existing, which is fantastic, you know, because I certainly in the past, I know I was just existing. Compared to now, I was just existing, and I love living. I'm loving it now. I'm enjoying it. I'm going out and being active, and you know, it's an overall health and well-being improvement, which is fantastic.
Oh, I'm so
stoked for you, Natasha.
It's just excellent.
Just excellent. We're just going to keep spreading the word.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? That's all we're doing. We're just sharing the story. And each of us has our own story. You know, every single person has been touched by trauma or, you know, some sort of experience that they carry around with them. And that's another thing that, because I've got a passion with helping people with trauma as well, something that I've personally noticed is different trauma triggers that I've had from my lifetime, they've all just disappeared. And it's the only thing I can put it down to are these products, because I've done emotional work, I've done trauma release therapies, I've done all these fabulous therapies in their own right, but that's eased the triggers, but it hasn't gotten rid of them. And what I'm understanding about these products is because the stress reaction in the body is affecting us at a cellular level. We have chemical changes in the cell, and then that creates anchor points for our body to refer back to when we're exposed to trauma again or experience trauma again. And our body can determine if we need to go into fight, flight or freeze, or what action we need to take. The thing is that when we're overwhelmed with oxidative stress, those trauma triggers stay active all the time. So that's why we get short-tempered. That's why there's road rage. That's why, you know, everyone just stresses out so much. What I've found, though, is because the cellular healing is happening, those reactions aren't happening anywhere near as often or anywhere to the same extent as what they were before. So it's like all those emotional triggers that I know that I had, they've gone. And that has been life-changing in itself. And just, you know, different, you know, self-doubt and all that sort of stuff. It's just gone. And I can only put it down to the cellular healing that's occurred. And I mean, nothing else beats that. And I'm passionate about the therapies that I was doing, and passionate about the, you know, the qualifications and the work that I've done over the years to be qualified and specialised in those therapies. But honestly, nothing compares to cellular healing.
Yeah.
To me, and I'm not downgrading the therapies, but nothing compares to cellular healing. Everything else is just a Band-Aid.
Yeah, well, our bodies
are full of cells, aren't they? 37 trillion, however many.
Yeah.
So it's important that they stay as clean as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I was very aware of from my therapy business, and even more so now, is how people can become anchored in their condition or their symptom, and they become comfortable with that. And a lot of the time we think, oh, well, we can't, well, it is the way it is. You've got to expect that as you get older. Or, you know, you can't do anything about it. I'm going to have it for the rest of my life. Well, no, you don't have to have it for the rest of your life. Or the label of the condition may still be there, but the symptoms don't have to be there. You know, we're reducing symptoms. We're giving balance back to the body so it can manage and kick in those survival genes, and we can live. We can live for however long we've got, and that's fabulous.
That's so good.
I love that explanation too.
Anyway,
I'm going to wrap it up because my echo in my voice is driving me crazy. So I'm sure it's driving everyone else nuts.
So sorry,
everyone. But at least we had a great info session from Natasha, and we got to hear her wonderful story. So I hope she has inspired many. Definitely inspired me. And I appreciate your time so much, Natasha.
Thanks, Sarah. Thank you.
You have an awesome weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, everyone, for jumping on. Enjoy your weekend. I'm off to the markets, I think, to do some fruit and veg and chill out today.
Enjoy.
Awesome. Enjoy. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Natasha. Bye.